just barely were able to do it for this movie. So yeah, we're thankful for the constant evolution of the technology we have, that it allows us to go into new places with the stories that we're telling, and to create new experiences for everybody.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Good to
How are
see
you doing?
you.
Good. Thank you so much for your time. A pleasure
Of
to
course.
talk to you both. We love trolls here, all of them.
Okay, good.
So it's super fun, and I love Poppy, so she's the best.
Yeah,
She's our favorite
agreed.
too. We were
Yeah.
just talking about that. Her optimism is so contagious.
Yeah, we love that. It's amazing. So I know you both like I working on trolls for quite some time, right? So this is kind of already a family affair because it's the trolls become your family as well. So
Yeah.
That's right.
how did you guys see, like you can start with you, Walt. How did you see like the trolls like getting to the kids, transforming from the first movie to this one right now? How is
Yeah.
this
Well,
timeline? I don't know. It's
yeah, it's a good question, and we really appreciate being able to make three films and having, like you said, kind of these movies and these characters evolving and growing up with our audience in a way, which is really exciting to us. The kids and the adults, everybody who came in Trolls One, and who they are now, almost 10 years later. It's about a decade later. So it's beautiful to have that opportunity, and especially it's great for us to be able to get into the characters' minds and have a chance to evolve these characters from where they were 10 years ago to where they are now. So that's exciting.
oh yeah, really exciting.
Yeah.
So for you, Tim, I know it's because sometimes when you in this process of creating like characters, a story, and everything, you don't know like how people gonna react, right?
Yeah.
So what was like what do you think the people love the most about the trolls?
Oh my gosh. In general or in this
Yeah,
particular
it
movie?
can be in this particular movie, Charles, they band together.
I think there's a lot of things that people were drawn to. I definitely think a big part of it was the boy band idea. That Branch was in a boy band with his brothers, and we got to really lean into sort of that style of music, and a few different eras of that style of music even made its way into the movie. But I think that was a big draw for people. I do think, as much as Poppy is such a optimistic and energetic part of this franchise, I think people also connect to Branch and sort of his a little bit more like realistic take on things, or cynical sometimes even, and so seeing his backstory and understanding where he came from, I think was a lot of fun for people. And I also think people are drawn to the wackiness of it all, like the surreal things, the hustle button moment, and the chase and outrageous, all of these things that are kind of wild, and hopefully kind of take the characters and take these situations into places that people don't necessarily expect.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love the boy band idea to bring that, especially me. I grew up like listen to all those the boy bands and seeing
Yeah,
Backstreet Boys, all of
Yeah.
them. It's super fun to see it, to see having that. And to like all the movies you have, like you have just Timberlake and a Kendrick, all of them. But for this movie, you brought some new characters. How did you come about to pick the right voices, like to because like you have the first movie, the second movie, and now you need to find voices for the third movie that fits the other two. How is this process, Walt?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Kind of the casting and who plays these roles. It's really challenging for us. I mean, first we have to understand who the characters are. Like, what is their role? What is their connection with Branch and Poppy? What's that dynamic? Who are they internally? So then we start thinking about actors, comedians, singers. Especially with the Trolls movie, they have to be able to they're like the triple threat. They have to be able to sing, they have to be funny, and they have to be able to kind of pull off the acting and the reality of these characters because they're such a wild, weird world. So we just start thinking about people that match the characters a little bit just naturally, and people we want to work with. And like Tim talks about, like we start having these ideas and we start just cutting them together before we even cast them, like from interviews in different movies. We'll put a little Eric Andre with a little bit of Kid Cudi, and how do they sound with Justin? Like how do they all work together as a unison? So it's a long process, but it's, again, a lot of people we're fans of, and some people that kind of have some of the characteristics of the characters we are envisioning already.
Yeah.
It must be very challenging
Yeah,
because
but fun.
it's I for sure for fun. I think like voicing a character, I think it's really fun. I think it's very difficult too. I think it's challenge for the actors, and for you, the directors, like trying to tell, like, no, it needs to be this way, change it. Oh my God, it's a whole process.
But we're very collaborative, like Tim and I are in the booth with the actor, we're playing the other characters with them, and they're improvising, and Justin came up with a lot of his own jokes in the movie, so we're really collaborative, and the actors really bring a lot of themselves to the roles.
That's amazing. Now let's talk a little bit about like the production design, because there is different scenarios that we have, and this one is like a big party, you know what I mean? It's amazing, and I love the boombox. Can you talk a little bit, Tim? Can you talk a little bit about like to create that and to have that idea for the boombox?
Yeah, well, we have just the most incredible art team, visual development team. Our production designer, Ruben Perez, was leading the charge and working with just some incredible artists. And the first thing we always want to do is make sure that each new world we visit feels completely unique and completely unlike anything that we've visited before. And so for that particular area, Mount Regis, we thought it should be all glitz and glamour, and it should be all about, it's basically a nonstop party and everybody's obsessed with fame. And so let's lean into the gold and the jewels and the shiny surfaces, and that's going to make it feel completely different from Trolls Village, which is just warm and fuzzy and pastels, and so it's immediately got that contrast. And then in terms of the boombox, we originally in the storyline, we really wanted to show this the journey that Velvet and Veneer went on as artists. So they started the movie performing at like a small local club, and I think originally we even had like a lower street level that felt like it was almost away from the glitz and glamour of the city, and it felt more like a dive bar almost. But we thought, okay, so they're going to end up at this big Rage Dome performance, which is supposedly the biggest venue, this huge arena. So how can we start them off at something that feels different from that? And our biz dev team came up with the idea of, what if it's almost like it's inside a boombox speaker, or at least that's what this little club is designed to look like. So that's where that came from, and I'm so glad you liked that that idea and that location. We thought it turned out so cool, and there is sort of a contrast of them starting the movie there and where they end up performing, which ends up being this whole chase through the city that we were so excited to do. But that's sort of where that came from.
No, it's amazing. So everybody wants to know, are we going to have the fourth movie? Because one, you introduce the Trolls, the other one we go to different like villages like the Rock, and this one it's a big party, new characters, the boy band, BroZone. We're going to have the fourth one.
We'd love to do another movie. We really would. And we talk all the time while we're making the movies, different ideas we have, or places the characters could go, or new things we haven't seen, new characters. We're always in discussion because there's an infinite amount of possibilities for the Trolls universe. There's almost nowhere it can't go. So we'd love to, but I guess it's up to the world. Do they want more? We're happy to make more. I love making troll movies, that's for sure.
Yeah, you should go, because you make a lot of people happy. Not just the little ones, but the big ones too.
Exactly.
We always happy. I always tell that you guys do the magic there, and it's amazing. And I think also the technology like involve a lot from the 2016 movie from this one. What was like the biggest challenge? Tim?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
wow.
where I'll just do real quick, Tim, and you'll
Yeah.
jump in. That thing you were mentioning, the kind of Act Three chase, the musical chase through Mount Rages, is the most complex thing we've ever done with the team. Like the most complex thing we've ever made, and it was just wild and beyond our expectations how it came out.
Yeah, when we first started getting into that portion of the movie, and we were starting to talk to the different departments about how we were going to pull it off, they pretty much said, guys, this city, the scope of this city with all the reflective surfaces and all this stuff in comparison to the size of the characters, which are basically ants compared to the rest of the city, it's going to make this unrenderable. Like we will not be able to make this happen. And so thankfully, we've got geniuses and wizards here of technology that figure out ways to break the city into small pieces and to use things in a way that we can get the cameras in there and choreograph it so that thankfully our technology could make it happen. But we wouldn't have been able to do it before this movie, that's for sure. We just barely were able to do it for this movie. So yeah, we're thankful for the constant evolution of the technology we have, that it allows us to go into new places with the stories that we're telling and to create new experiences for everybody.
That's amazing. I just want to thank you so much for your time, Walt, Tim, and just go around the globe, because there is a lot of countries with music that you guys can. And yeah, Brazil is one of them.
All right, that's a great idea. We got it from you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jana.
Ciao, ciao. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.